11s. It's the 22nd. We inch ever closer to June 1st when we can hang out a bit again, maybe. So I'm going to do the keyed 116, 117, which is kind of like the do everything quiz that we had. You really got to know what you're doing here. And we have like one more set of notes and a review assignment, and then your test on quadratics. It'll be a multiple choice like before, but I'm going to double proofread it so I don't screw you guys over like I did in the last one. And an open-ended section, which of course you will have to take a picture of and upload it back to me. Okay? So let's get this going. Alright, so here we are on page 116. So we have a vertex. So we know it's y equals a x minus 2 squared plus 1. Then we've got a y or another point that we can plug into that. So 5 equals a 0 minus 2 squared plus 1. 5 equals 4a plus 1. 4 equals 4a, so a equals 1, which means we don't need to write it. Come back up here now. Y equals x minus 2 squared plus 1, and we get it to standard form just by getting rid of the brackets. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 1. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 5. And there we go. Come to the next one here. In this one we have roots. So we know that y equals a x plus 2, x minus 6. And we know that we have a number to sub in there. Negative 12 equals a 0 plus 2, 0 minus 6. Negative 12 equals a times 12. Divide both sides, times negative 12. So a, again, is going to equal 1. Once we have a equaling 1, y equals x plus 2, x minus 6, y equals x squared minus 4x minus 12. And there is our answer there. Number 3 here, a little bit tricky. It opens downwards, so we know a has to be less than 0. Otherwise, we just keep going. We have a vertex, so y equals a x plus 1 squared plus 8. We sub in the point we know. 5 equals a 0 plus 1 squared plus 8. 5 equals a plus 8. A equals negative 3. That makes sense because a was supposed to be less than 0, so then we just plug it in. Y equals negative 3 x plus 1 squared plus 8. Y equals negative 3 times x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 8. Y equals negative 3x squared minus 6x minus 3 plus 8. Y equals negative 3x squared minus 6x plus 5. And there we go. Number 4. Again, we've got roots. So y equals a x plus 1, x minus 6. There's our sub-in point. Negative 5 equals a 4 plus 1, times 4 minus 6. Negative 5 equals a 5 times negative 2. Negative 5 equals negative 10a, so a equals 1/2. Then I just plug it in, y equals 1/2 x plus 1, x minus 6, y equals 1/2 x squared minus 5x minus 6, y equals 1/2 x squared minus 5/2 x minus 3. And that one's done. Alright, now we come to this really tough one, because it's a system. We don't have a vertex. Nope. We have a y-intercept, so we know that ax squared plus bx plus c, which is 4, has to equal y. Now, you will notice we have an x and a y right there. X, x, y. Okay. And we have an x and a y right there. X, x, y. So all I got to do is plug them in and see where that takes us. So when I plug in the green one, x is going to become negative 4, and y is going to become 8. So I'm going to get negative 4 squared is 16a minus 4b, and when I bring that 4 over to that 8, it's going to have to equal 4. Now if I do the same thing with the blue one, this is going to be a 1, this is going to be a 1, and this is going to be a 13. So I'm going to get a plus b equals 9. So there is a system. So all I got to do is solve that like I solved it in grade 10. If I multiply this side by 4, I'm going to get 4a plus 4b equals 9. Now, if I get rid of that middle one, notice that I can eliminate 4 right here, can't I? By adding these together. Oh, I forgot to do 36 there, because I forgot to multiply the 9 by 4. Now let's add them together. 20a, that disappears, equals 40. So a now equals 2. So if a equals 2, then I automatically know what b is, because remember, a plus b had to equal 9. So if a equals 2, then b must equal 7. And I already know what c is, so all I got to do is write out my final answer. 2x squared, because a is 2, plus 7x, because b is 7, plus 4 equals y. And there's my final answer. So number 6. In number 6, I have roots. So I have y equals a x, because it's 0, so x plus 0 is just x, times x minus 20. And there, I've got numbers to fill it in. 30 equals a times, 5 minus 20. 30 equals negative 75a. So a equals negative 30/75. Now, of course, we would simplify that because 15 goes into both of them. So a equals negative 2/5. And then, of course, I just fill it in again. Oh, I changed the color scheme. Sorry, everyone. Y equals negative 2/5 x squared minus 20x. Y equals negative 2/5 x squared plus 2 times 20 is 40 over 5 is 8. And there's your answer. Hold up, I think I did something wrong there. That does not look right to me. Just give me a sec. Oh, yeah, I forgot the x. There we go. No, that still doesn't look right to me. X squared minus 20x, 2/5 x, plus 8x. Oh no, that is right, yeah. Because plus 0, our y-intercept was 0. Yeah, that's why I was not thinking. Anyways, there you go. And the last two. So in this one we have a vertex and we have root, so it doesn't matter which way we do it. I'm going to go ahead and use the roots. Y equals a x plus 3, x minus 7. Then I sub in my point. 25 equals a 2 plus 3, 2 minus 7. 25 equals negative 25a, so a equals negative 1. And I just sub that back in up here. Y equals negative x squared minus 4x minus 21, which is y equals negative x squared plus 4x plus 21. There's that. Now this one is quite tricky because we have a vertex, yes, but it's a fraction. Now, as always, I know you hate fractions. It's a decimal. I really don't care how you work with it, but I, of course, am going to change it to a fraction. So what I have there is y equals a x minus 1/2 squared plus 0, because our y is 0. So I don't need that. Then I have a point to sub in. 3 equals a 1 minus 1/2 squared. 3 equals 1/4 a, right? Because 1 minus half is 1/2. 1/2 squared is 1/4. So a must equal 12. Once I have a equals 12, I just do my work. Y equals 12 x squared minus x plus 1/4. Y equals 12x squared minus 12x plus 3. And there's my final answer there. Okay, everyone. Please check it over. Make sure you've done it. Next week there'll be, I think, one more set of notes and one assignment for review. And then your test. I don't think we'll get to it next week, but I don't know. have to look at the calendar and make up how things are going to go. I haven't really looked that far ahead. I was kind of hoping we'd already be back in school by now. So I'll have to look at that. Alright, so it's kind of gross out. Do your best. Have the best weekend you can. And we'll see you back here Monday.